Hello, my name is Jim. I've been involved in pain management since around 2004, and I've tried just about every type of medication known, including an implant pump. And that I just recently had removed. And during my pain management procedure, during my pain management, I had developed neuropathy in my hands, both hands, and in my feet. And it was so debilitating that I could barely walk, let alone sleep. The pain was like you're like a fish out of water. That's how I would call it. But this burning, tingling, numbing, it's like if you think a dentist is bad when you're chewing on your lip, it's 100 times worse than that. I mean, it drove me crazy, literally out of my house. I couldn't sit still, and I couldn't sleep. It was horrible. Post-op, when I had my implant pump, it was actually a morphine pump because I was for pain management. I was still having a neuropathy, and I met a friend at church who I described these problems I was having with my hands and my feet. And he talked about a procedure which was MB12 injection with an insulin syringe. And I started doing that, and I found that right after the injection, the pain just disappeared. I would describe it as the burning, stinging, burning pain in my feet and my hands. My feet were worse than my hands, even elevated. I mean, I had my feet jacked. But when I did my first injection, I felt the pain just disappear. Like I would categorize it like a knife going through butter. It just melted away. Now the time frame after the pain went away varied, because the funny thing about pain for me is that when pain goes away, I want to do something. And of course, you want to get back to your life, and that's where I came into a situation where I tried going on more MB12 up to 3 times a day. And my point is that it's helping me tremendously with the burning. I mean, this burning it's brutal. I mean, just to put socks on my feet, just to cut my toenails I had to go to a podiatrist in the beginning. It was that bad. I couldn't even touch my feet. Now I'm able to cut my toenails. I'm able to put my socks on. I put sandals on. It's a miracle to me. And the only thing I want to explain is that you do have to do injections, and you use an insulin syringe, and I do myself. I don't have anybody do it to me. So the procedure that I do it is I stand in front of a mirror with a light on the counter, and I go to like one glute, either left or to right. I usually rotate. But it's not that hard, and it's not painful at all. I mean, it's more like a thorn prick. And actually, there's different spots on your glute that don't really sting as much. But it's a short little needle, maybe 1/4 of an inch. It's no big deal. And once you get the angle down, it's really no problem. And I mean, when it comes to needles, I'm really against needles. In fact, I'm even taking a blood thinner. But again, this is all about my neuropathy pain, and the relief is by far, and this is without medication. This is MB, and it's just breaking the pain. And depending upon your workload, pretty much you're going to have to decide what you can do. I'm doing 3 shots a day, and I would say the pain disappears for at least 2 hours. And what my point about that is, when you're pushing your day, you've got to sleep. And because of the neuropathy, I was unable to sleep. And believe me, you go 3 or 4 days without sleep, you're going crazy. So now I can sleep. In fact, it's to the point now where I'm actually sleeping too much. And also, I wanted to bring up another point. I was also doing acupuncture and acupressure. They got a couple of names for it. They call it acupressure. They call it trigger point, pressure point. Extremely painful. The only thing I can say about that, the acupressure and the acupuncture, is that it did work. But it was extremely painful. If I thought the neuropathy was bad, this was nothing. But it was only for a few seconds of pain, because they're actually digging into a tendon on a pressure point. Extremely painful, but it did break the pain. Now the MB12, no pain. No pain, no medication. I want to make that clear. No pain, no medication. Just a slight little pinch. Nothing. And believe me, I'm chicken when it comes to that. Nothing. So I mean, think about it. Back to the acupuncture. I kind of backed off on the acupuncture because they were going into tendons all over my body, saying that it's all connected on the meridian and the chi and the whole thing. So I was kind of like, I didn't think so. And I started getting into the acupressure, which is like a massage manipulation. They pretty much map out all your tendons on your... I was on my stomach and also on my back, but primarily my problems were on my back. And a lot of tendons were there at the bone or the cartilage, sacral pain, neck pain, all connected to the feet. They were calling it blood stasis. And so far, the acupressure has been working better than the acupuncture. So I backed off on the acupuncture. But when I think about this whole thing in like retrospect, I believe that I'm probably going to be backing off on the acupressure because the methyl B is like no pain. I mean, no pain to do it. The acupressure, the massage I'm talking about, is extremely, extremely painful. The acupuncture is more painful, but once they get the needle in, if they can get the needle in deep enough, there's a lot of ifs and that's, and believe me, I've been through the odyssey of ifs and could be, would be, this be, whatever. But the point I'm making with the acupuncture is that needle's got to go into a certain position, and they don't always get it, and it hurts. I mean, you're jumping off the table hurt, stuck to the ceiling hurt, and they're like, okay, sorry. That's why I backed off with the acupuncture. The acupressure, on the other hand, someone's got their fingers needling into your tendons, extremely painful, but once you get through it, after about, I'm up to about 90 minutes, once you get through it, the pain does disappear. But again, I'm comparing that to the methyl B. The methyl B, you take an injection, within minutes, the pain just, it's like someone just pouring hot water over your cold body. You just disappears. It comes back a few hours later. Sometimes it's 2 hours, sometimes it's 4 hours. I think the most I've done is maybe 4 or 5 hours of sleep. That's what the big thing with me is sleep, because I'm pushing during the day. I've got things I have to do. Everybody's got things they got to do. They got no time for anything. Well, I'm in the same category. But my point is, it's helped me sleep dramatically. And I think I covered everything. Thank you.